Hello and good afternoon from your community stadium. I'm Shaun Cashmore. Next to me this afternoon is one half of the Leamington ladies management team in Scott Langford, and you join us for this National League North fixture. It's Leamington versus Radcliffe. Leamington may still be seeking the first league win of this new campaign. They have, however, so far performed well on the road. An opening day, well-earned and perhaps unlucky away draw to Curzon was followed up with the next away game last Tuesday night at Peterborough Sports. The Brakes and the Turbines may have played out a goalless draw, but the first clean sheet of the season would have been welcomed with open arms by Leamington manager Paul Holleran. The one area of concern for Leamington will be the performance in front of goal. With only Paish finding the back of the net on the opening day of the season, it has been back-to-back games without a goal for the Brakes, following on from last Saturday here against South Shields, where they were without doubt the second best team on the day. Opposition today, Radcliffe made their debut as a club in the National League North last season, having won in the Northern Premier League title in 23-24. They may have finished one place above the drop zone, but in truth they were well clear with a total of 11 points between them and 20th Needham Market. Outside of the drop zone though, they did concede the most goals in the league, and co-management team Bernard Morley and Anthony Johnson stated it as a key point to address and improve at the end of last season and into the summer. And now it's flicked out to this left-hand side with McFadzean. McFadzean just lays it out towards the left-hand side, and then, well, he plays Thornley into trouble, and Farmer's robbed Thornley. Thornley can't get back. Farmer in the area, has a go. Really well held, though, by Hewlett. Shot on target from the Brakes, and, well, they were the makers of their own downfall a little bit there, Radcliffe, Scott.
Yeah, it was good pressure from Farmer just to pinch it off the centre half. I think in the end he's probably just a bit wide, but it's promising from Leamington there. You know, Radcliffe's defenders not being able to deal with that little bit of a high press in order to pinch the ball and get that first shot off on target.
Ram heads it down towards the penalty area. Williams, really good save by Hewlett. Great stop by the Radcliffe Borough keeper. Williams sent it goalwards, and it was just the foot of Hewlett that kept it out. Leamington still have possession. Paish on the right-hand side. Now Paish is chopped down. McFadzean wants him to get up. Going back to that chance, Burton sent a long ball in towards the area. Really well headed down by Max Ram. Ewan Williams collected it, sent it goalwards. Really good stop by Mateusz Hewlett.
Yeah, it was a fantastic save. Just throws the leg out and managed to get something on it.
Leamington whipped the corner in towards a good area. Touch goalwards over the top by D'Amico Burton. Really good run by Burton. He just lost his mark on the edge of the penalty area. Berridge put it into a good area, and Burton just couldn't keep the left-footed effort down. 0-0. So it'll be a corner for Leamington on this right-hand side. Berridge will take it again. Sends it in right-footed, again into a good area. This time it's sent goalwards, and then it's in the back of the net. It took a deflection. Ewan Williams is taking the plaudits. Leamington, well, they rang the danger bells for Borough from the first corner that D'Amico Burton sent just over the top of the crossbar. This one's been sent further towards the far post by Tim Berridge, and then Ewan Williams is connected with it. It was low through the penalty area. It took a deflection. Mateusz Hewlett couldn't get down to keep it out. Leamington have their first goal of the season at Yacourt Community Stadium, and it's Ewan Williams, of course it is, the man who scored that goal against Telford to put Leamington in the National League North, gets the first goal in the National League North of the new season.
Yeah, it's another really good set-piece routine. Same movement again, you know, players starting at the back, making the movement towards the front, but this time it's hung up towards the back. It's a great connection at that back post, and when you're driving it hard and low through that many players, it's bound to hit somebody, and it just takes it away from the goalkeeper and into that bottom corner.
Throw in again for Radcliffe down this left-hand side. Quickly taken throw in. Williams snapped into the challenge and just forced the issue from Sargent, and then Sargent is over the top. Wasn't a neat challenge at all. Paish has stayed down, and again, I think it's one of those that the referee can probably let go, but he set his stall out early with the yellow cards he wants to dish out, and now it's going to be another one, and this one is going to be for Matt Sargent. So that's 5 in the book. Almost a quarter of the players on the pitch find themselves on a yellow card, and we're only 42 minutes into this game. Free kick's going to come in on this left-hand side, right-footed in swinger, in towards the near post, flick goalwards. It's gone all the way through. It's gone all the way through. Well, Brook, I think, got himself in a position where he thought he was going to come for the cross. In the end, it's been whipped straight in towards the near post. I'm not quite sure if anyone got a touch. Roscoe seemed to take some of the credit, but either way, it's in the back of the net. And as we tick towards half-time here at Yacourt Community Stadium, it's Leamington 1, Radcliffe Borough 1. I think the goal may have come from Roscoe, but either way, it's not going to be one that's going to appease Paul Holleran. Roscoe tries to switch one cross field. Meredith drops in from right back, clears it up. Clark gets his head on it. Captain for Radcliffe, Glendon, brings it down, and now it's over on the right-hand side with Taylor. Taylor not put under any pressure, gets his cross in, headed away by Street, and then there's a goal towards the keeper, and then the referee's brought it back for a penalty. Well, the referee played the advantage. Meredith is adjudged to have put a high boot towards the Radcliffe man. The shot came in from the advantage. It was well held down at the near post by Brooke, and then the referee has brought it back for a high boot by Dan Meredith on the Radcliffe man who hit the deck, and Meredith has also been booked for the challenge.
I think the boot was very high and unneedly, it didn't need to be that high. Whether he's actually caught the player or not, I don't know, but that's the risk you run when you bring your foot that high. But it's been a whirlwind of a 2 minutes there that looks like it's potentially cost Leamington, but it's an opportunity for the new goalkeeper to certainly make his mark if he can save this penalty.
Well, Ball will stand over it, looking for his second goal of the season, the veteran striker. Meredith is the man who's been adjudged to have put the high boot on McFadden and give this penalty away. But a chance for new goalkeeper Brooke to make himself an early hero. David Ball will stand over it and wait for the signal from Callum Jones. The signal comes, Ball stands over it, right-footed, sends it goal. Was really good save by Brooke. Got down with his big frame, got two hands to it. The ball goes back into the area. Brooke punches it away. Great save from the Leamington debutant Will Brooke in goal. All 6'3" of his frame. He got down to the right-hand side and pushed it away from the post. Leamington 1, Radcliffe 1. Brooke saves the penalty from David Ball.
Do you know what? It's a good penalty, to be fair. It's down low into the corner, it's hit hard, and like you say, he uses his big frame to get down there and push it clear. Not only that, but then the ball gets sent back in and he's there to punch it away, and that almost makes up for the mistake off the free kick in the first half.
Here's Greenfield now. Greenfield, the former Manchester United youth player, is Danny Greenfield. He also had 2-season loan spell at Spennymoor Town, so he's got experience at this level, and he's going to try and pick one up in the middle of the park. He just leaves it, and then Paish wins the loose ball, and now Walker glides away from a challenge and lays it into the feet of Walker. Walker finds Meredith. Meredith, good ball in towards the near post, goes back to Adam Walker, and there's Williams! Ewan Williams doubles his scoreline tally for the day and adds the second to Leamington's scoreline here at Yakarta Community Stadium. It was really good play in the middle of the park. Adam Walker picked up the loose ball. He laid it out towards Meredith on the right-hand side. The ball was drilled in by Meredith towards the near post. It was cut out well by Radcliffe initially, and then as Walker's shot came in again, it fell down to the feet of Ewan Williams, and he couldn't miss from there. He tucked it into the back of the net in front of the Leamington fans in the clubhouse end. It's Leamington 2, Radcliffe 1.
Yeah, it's superb football in the middle of the pitch. It then goes out wide to Meredith, and it's such a dangerous ball into the box. That corridor of uncertainty. As a defender facing your own goal there, you're always a bit wary of what to do with it. And they get that touch on and clear it, but it doesn't really go anywhere, and it's superb following up from Williams, who tucks it nicely central of the goal into the roof of the net, and nobody's got any chance. But it's superb play. It's probably against the run of play a little bit. I do think Radcliffe have been on top so far the second half, but Paul Halloran will be really happy with the response, especially after that penalty save.
Well, it was potential alarm bells at the start of this second half for Leamington. They conceded a penalty that's been saved by debutant goalkeeper Will Brooke, and then Ewan Williams in his 92nd appearance has picked up both his 9th and 10th goals for the club this afternoon, and the second has given Leamington the lead. And here goes Williams again, brought down by Sargent, and Sargent's on a yellow card, and Sargent's going to go here. It was late, it was clumsy, and it's the second yellow card for Matt Sargent, the Welsh midfielder who came through the Wrexham Academy. Sees red this afternoon, and we said at the start of this second half, Scott, the amount of players already on a yellow card from the first half, everyone was going to have to be careful. Sargent wasn't careful there, and they don't have a midfield general anymore because Sargent has seen red.
Yeah, definitely, and I mean, if I'm being brutally honest, I don't really think that was a booking either. But when you're on a yellow, you make a mistake like that, that the referee's been a little bit card happy today, there's potential that you're going to get punished, and it just goes from bad to worse for Radcliffe conceding a goal and then a minute later going down to 10 men. It's a real opportunity now for Leamington to take control of this game, and potentially put a little bit of pressure on and see if they can nick another one.
Radcliffe haven't really reorganised themselves yet, and Leamington have an overlap on this left-hand side if they can switch it in field. Page, Meredith chips one in for Berridge to chase. Berridge is going to collect it on the edge of the 18-yard box, gets away from his man. Berridge into the 18-yard box. Walker misses his kick. Well, Walker lays with his head in the turf, and now Leamington have to get black because Radcliffe on the counter. It was a gilt-edge opportunity. Really well intercepted though by Burton. Leamington come forward again, and now there's an overlap once more. Burton, can he get past his man? No. It's end-to-end. It's like an ice hockey game in the last 5 minutes. Clark collects the loose ball. Here's Walker. How did he miss that opportunity? Really good play by Berridge on the right-hand side. Laid it back to Walker. You thought all he had to do was put his foot through the ball, and he totally missed his kick. Page on the right-hand side now, receives it from Meredith, looking for support, has Meredith to go down the line. Meredith gets himself back on side, chips his cross in towards a good area, well headed away by Roscoe, comes down towards Burton on the edge, cries a shoot from the home fans. Burton obliges, doesn't get a good connection on it. Thornley clears his lines, isolated up top is Hope. Hope though, just tried to outmuscle Street. Street did well in the end, just to allow it to fall through towards Max Rapp. Roscoe heads it down, only as far as Williams on a hat-trick. Williams gets it on the edge. Farmer has a go, well over the top. Leamington with the bit between their teeth here, Scott.
Yeah, definitely. You know, between the penalty save, the goal, and then the red card. One thing I would say though is there's still the counter-attacking option for Radcliffe. So Leamington just need to be careful. Yes, there's an opportunity, but don't get overexcited. You know, you still need to make sure that you hold your shape. You still need to make sure that you're looking after the ball when you've got it.
Throw-in for Brad Jackson then, right in front of our commentary position. Down the line he goes. Burton heads it behind him, doesn't quite get it away. Tries to challenge Clegg, does really well, and it's a fantastic challenge again by the Leamington left-back, the number 18. And then Clark spreads it to Farmer on the right-hand side. Farmer, he's got the number 12 of Park coming back at him. Tries to hold it up and now tries to get to the dead ball line. Chips it in towards a good area. Can't turn it home. Williams can't connect with it. Cleared away by Greenfield. Really good play by Farmer, and no one in a golden black shirt could turn it goalwards. Now Radcliffe turned the possession over and tried to come forward themselves on the left-hand side. Worked in towards Hulme. Hulme sends it on the overlap towards the number 11, Taylor. Taylor tries to send it back in towards the penalty area, receives the ball back again, drives it goalwards, comes all the way towards the far post. Leamington can't clear their lines. Then there's a little bit of a challenge inside the penalty area, but still they have it. They send it goalwards. It's over the top of the bar. It was Clegg who just couldn't quite keep the effort down. But when they break with pace, they break with intensity, and they couldn't quite get the shot on target, could Radcliffe. Roscoe, 50 appearances last season, chips one into a dangerous area on the edge of the box. Walker can't quite make it stick. It bundles all the way through towards Ram, and now Meredith will receive it on the far side. And the man who was always buccaneering forward, buccaneers again over the halfway line. Owen Farmer showing for him on the right-hand side in plenty of space. Farmer gets his cross in towards Williams. Williams takes a touch, lays it back to Meredith! Inside of the post and out! What a strike by Dan Meredith. He's only got 3 goals to his name in a break shirt, and he was mighty close to a 4th. It was laid deliciously into his path, and he unleashed one inside of the post and out.
Yeah, it was an absolute thunderous strike. It's, again, really good football from Leamington, finding that overload, you know, making that spare player count. You know, it's drilled into the box from a wide area, set to the fullback to step onto it and to strike it. And really, really unlucky because he caught it ever so sweet, you know, crashing off the inside of that post and coming back out for a goal kick.
Well, he's had multiple awards at the club as Dan Meredith. Player of the Season awards, Supporters Players of the Season awards. He's never had a Goal of the Season award to his name, and he was mighty close to being on that list, because what a strike that was from the 25-year-old that hit the inside of the post and went out for a goal kick. Forward come Radcliffe again on the left-hand side. Anthony Dudley just glides away from one challenge, plays a neat 1-2, and forward come the 10 men of Radcliffe. Inside the Leamington penalty area, Joe Clark does really well just to take it away and feed it into the path of Meredith. And now here is the recently introduced Chia. Up towards Lynn, very isolated, needs to make it stick. 2 men on him. The golden black man battles and chips away, trying to get hold of the loose ball. Does really well. Anthony Lynn does fantastically. Ewan Williams picks up the loose ball. Shorrock now inside, has a go left-footed, well wide. But brilliant play from the Leamington front man. Isolated up top for these final stages will be Anthony Lynn, and that's exactly what Paul Holloran will want from him. Didn't give up on it. The tenacity was brilliant. Shurrock over the corner then. Clark goes short. Shurrock ignores him. 3 back for the breaks. Quainer, Street and Meredith. In comes the corner in towards Ram. Headed down. Really good save. Hewlett was never really troubled. But again, as we mentioned earlier, Ram getting his head to everything in the air. Free kick then taken by keeper Hewlett, and we're going to have 4 minutes added on here at your Co-op Community Stadium, but Leamington are going to try and shore things up as Shurrock comes forward, and he's got 3 men over in this attack. Shurrock all the way in towards the 18-yard box, cross to the far post. Williams just couldn't quite connect with it and get his head on it, tried to chest it down, lays it back to Chia. Great save by Hewlett. And then Shurrock is bundled over at the far post. It's all going on in the box, but now Radcliffe are going to try and withdraw, and then there's a... Well, in fact, I think the linesman's given a corner. He said that the ball had gone from Hewlett's save. It was a really good save. Shurrock worked the ball into the 18-yard box. Williams thought about putting his head on it, couldn't quite stoop, brought it down on his chest, tried to send it goalwards. It was worked back out to Chia. He sent one goalwards. Matthias Hewlett got a big hand to it. Brilliant save, and it's gone out for a corner. Leamington looking to potentially hold one in the corner. The referee, Callum Jones, is telling them to get on with it as we are 3 minutes left here at your Co-op Community Stadium of the 4 minutes that's been added on. Lynn's going to try and hold it in the corner. He's got 2 Radcliffe players for company. Lynn does well, just plays it off the ankles of the number 8 Glendon, the captain, and it's going to be a throw-in for Leamington that Shurrock will look to take. Again into the feet of Lynn. Lynn spins away from his man, gets away from him. Lynn has a go, just can't send it goalwards. Lynn did really well just to roll the defender, get along the dead ball line. It opened up for him. He tried to bend one towards the top corner, couldn't quite find the angle. Referee looks at his watch once and still we play on. Ram again, another towering header, brilliant header, and that's enough for the referee, Callum Jones. He blows the full-time whistle, and the Leamington players embrace on the pitch. They feel like they've put in a real shift today. They took the lead in this game courtesy of Ewan Williams. He tucked one home from a corner, and then on the stroke of half-time, Radcliffe drew themselves level. At the start of the second half, Radcliffe had the chance to take the lead. Play was pulled back from a penalty after Dan Meredith got his boot a little bit too high. There was a chance for Will Brook to atone for his early error, and he certainly did that. Tipped it away out of the penalty areas. The ball was worked back in. He punched one away as well, and he kept the scoreline level. Shortly after that, Ewan Williams added his second of the game, added Leamington's second of the game. Leamington then toiled and troubled against this Radcliffe side for the remainder of the game that saw a red card as the man who was booked in the first half, Sargent, picked up a second yellow card, and as Radcliffe tried to rejig the formation, this Leamington side have really defended resolutely to make sure that they've taken all 3 points at your Co-op Community Stadium this afternoon. It's finished here at your Co-op Community Stadium. Leamington 2, Radcliffe 1. You have a good bank holiday weekend. We'll speak to you again against Chorley on Saturday the 30th. Thanks very much.
Paul, that game had everything there. A red card, a penalty save. Definitely a game for the neutrals and Leamington by the end of it. But your thoughts on today's game?
Yeah, I think to be fair, the all 4 games we've shown. Listen, last week against South Shields it was tough at times, but we also had our moments and created chances. The other 3, whether it's been Curzon or Peterborough Tuesday night, we've shown lots of physicality, lots of know-how. Been a familiar pattern in all 3. We've missed chances, but we're creating them. I thought today, first half, we've really got on the front foot, got our high plays in the game early, wanted our high plays to stop on the ball, run with the balls, lots of space. Going into their final third, did that well. Got the goal, but then didn't get the seconds, which we probably should have done, because against good sides, it only takes a moment, and they were a real threat on transition, especially with the high line players they've got. I think we'll look back at the goal and be slightly disappointed that we haven't dealt with it. Good ball in, but could we have dealt with it better? Could our start positions have been better? This league's unforgiving. You can play well in a half, like we did first half, and then all of a sudden you're 1-1. And it was important to mentally try and get going again. Probably think they start the second half. The game turns, isn't it? Football turns quickly. Penalty save. We scored a goal and a player sent off in I don't know, you tell me, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes or something like that. And then momentum really swung. But we were good in that period. Momentum swung back to us then. And then, I don't know how many chances we've had. You want that next goal, obviously, because they've left a very attacking formation on the pitch, which would give us opportunities, but it would mean they would still be a threat. You know, they've left the two up top, one behind, probably sacrificed wide areas, so we were trying to get the ball in wide areas, which we did, got in some good spaces, got some good opportunities, but yeah, the ball wouldn't go in. So then, listen, you just got to show some resilience at the end, which I think we did. I think the important thing about this year is the subs, you know, being able to use 5 and having a bit of depth in the squad, that with the quick turnover of games, being able to get fresh legs on, slightly change things, try and keep the momentum of the game going with fresh legs. So that's been important, probably Tuesday night and certainly today, that thought they've come and the subs have come on and just kept it going, or even give us a little bit more. So that was good. And listen, I think on the whole, I don't think you can argue we probably deserve to win the game today. And they're a good side, they're a really good side, Radcliffe. So some good players. But it's this league, isn't it? There's so little in it. It can be ruthless, as it was for us today. But then we've showed a bit of character. We probably had a fraction of luck at times. But then we've created enough chances, you know, to win the game. And that's probably just been the... If you look at the 4 games, you'll look back and go, missed chances at Curzon, missed chances last Saturday, missed chances at Peterborough, missed chances today. You look at the squad and go, not a lot of experience in the squad, National League North. That's something we have to manage. So they're learning on the job. I can see they are taking a lot in quickly. Some of the young players are doing really well. So listen, there's lots to like the first sort of batch of games there. But we also know we'll have some tough days, and the tough thing now is trying to recover to go again at Kidderminster Harriers on Monday. But listen, it's always lovely to get that first result. You know, could have come Tuesday, it didn't quite happen, but it's come today. Yeah, so onwards and upwards, and looking forward to Monday now.
Got a point away from home last Tuesday, but it wasn't all great with Eddie coming off injured. What's the thoughts on the latest on him so far?
Yeah, difficult one. It didn't look like anything. Some of you guys were at the game. It was right at the end, that save at the end didn't look like anything. It's like he's jarred, put some ice in it after the game, thought nothing of it, and then Wednesday getting phone calls from the physio saying that we've got a problem with it. So, yeah, a joint problem, which you just don't. You've got to let it heal, settle down, and you've got to sort of. The rehab's important on that one. So yeah, it was very eventful Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for me. Trying to get a goalkeeper that can play in the National League. So yeah, but we've managed to do it, and he was excellent today. Well, I thought, he's obviously played against us. Good pedigree. There's another one, a bit like Eddie. Sometimes them players just need. The problem with the National League is that, it's a problem. It's just as it is. Lots of clubs want players with games next to the 9 players that have played. So, that's why the Leamington model sometimes we don't always look for that. We take gambles so players get opportunities to play in the division, like Eddie. And Will's another one. Obviously, especially with the number 1 and a number 5, people are desperate for experience in games. But obviously, but he has had experience at Barwell. I watched him there at Farsley last year. He was busy there. And, he was a good kid, really good kid, and we were very just great that we were able to, I was able to make contact, and we were able to sort it out very, very quickly, that it comes in and just get some exposure, and we'll take it as it goes. But listen, he's had a good day today, and, he's driving from one end of the country today to come and play for us. So, yeah, good kid, and did well, and I'm sure he enjoyed himself today, and he'll get some plaudits, which he deserves. And there's lots of young kids like him around there that just need somebody to give him a go, really. But no, good. So Eddie's done well in the few games he's played, and young Will's done well today. So it's nice when you see young kids, a bit like D'Amico, a bit like Hisham coming on, young Max Ram, all these youngsters doing all right and competing at this level. But as I said last week, there's about 300 days in this league, and this is just another one of them. And it's if you're not quite at it, and you're not, and just as you found out at the end of the first half, when you just get a bit, it was on transition. We had the ball transition, a bit sloppy out here, sloppy towards the end of the half. What was a vulnerable time in that period, 44, 45 minutes, and we got punished. But already seen signs of, with a new group, the character, the resilience, and a bit of steel, which is what we need, and we'll keep working on it.